Well, the liquor baron, Vijay Mallya, has been found guilty of contempt of court by the Supreme Court today. The apex court has asked Mr. Mallya to be present before the bench on July 10th, when the case will be taken up for hearing next. Now, the Supreme Court bench accepted a plea by the consortium of banks which had sought contempt proceedings against Mallya. The banks argue that Mallya transferred the $40 million that he received from the British firm Diageo PLC to his children, violating various judicial orders, including those passed by the Debt Recovery Tribunal and the Karnataka High Court. Now, Mallya's defunct Kingfisher Airlines owes 9,000 crore rupees to state-run banks. He fled to London after those banks approached the apex court. This happened last year. A team of CBI and Enforcement Directorate officials were in the UK to extradite Mr. Mallya. They returned to the capital on Monday. In fact, a little while earlier, we spoke with Harpreet Gyani. He's an immigration expert based out of the United Kingdom on this entire case. This is what he had to tell us.
Each country is sovereign, and no country can interfere directly in the territory or in the affairs of another country. So what India can do is basically petition the courts or the system in England to say, can we please have this person back because we've convicted him, or because we are proceeding against him. Whether to send him back to India or not is something that the UK system has to decide. Now, within UK, the power rests not with the government but with the courts, and the courts have to deal with it exclusively within the framework of the law. And the law says that if they find that A, his rights are going to be violated in India, or B, he's going to be thrown in jail without due process, or C, India, the rule of speciality, that India is asking for his extradition for 1, 2, and 3 offences, but the moment he lands back in India, they are going to throw, 4, 5, 6, and 7 charges at him as well, which were not before the court initially. These are all reasons why the court in the UK is then bound. It's discretionary. The court is bound to say, well, we can't, in these situations, trust that he will not be subjected to witch hunt, and they will not send him back to India. So, literally, this is something which doesn't happen, which is not very good. This is what I have been saying all along, that within India we need to curb our enthusiasm and we need to tone down on the hard stand that we've taken. And the stand that India must take is, we are reasonable about it. He will have all the protection of law within India, and India is going to have to guarantee that Vijay Mallya's rights within India are going to be protected. We are not doing that. Subrat Roy's case is staring us in the face. It would be very natural for Vijay Mallya's lawyers to go and say, look at this person, he's not been charged with anything. He hasn't been indicted for contempt, much less convicted for contempt, and he was kept in prison for years. And that was all extra legal. And that is something, again, that militates against sending Vijay Mallya back to India. So I'm not sure that this is a great development for the Indian system, but I think it's a great development for Mallya.
Okay, joining me in the studio is Kartikeya Sharma, WION's political editor. Kartikeya, some interesting points being brought up by Harpreet Gyani. He cautioning India not to get too excited or let's say, celebratory over this development. But at this point in time, what sort of conundrum does Mr. Mallya's legal status in the United Kingdom pose for Indian authorities?
Well, I would say that it's going to take its time. He's coming across with a view saying that it's very well to get excited in India, but the fact of the matter is he's in Britain.
Right.
He's protected by Britain law. Britain is a sovereign country. But then the issue is that it provides sort of a moral heft to the government also. Government can say we are not doing witch hunting.
Right.
Because Mr. Mallya has been saying that it's a witch hunt. Business proposition went bad, and you have come after me. But the court has said that you have pilfered away the money. Taxpayers' money was pilfered away. You took loan from the state bank. You took loan from the government banks. Then you pilfered that money to private property, and you are sitting across and preaching. Actually, it's a great shame that a Rajya Sabha member on a passport issued to Rajya Sabha MPs, he used that to escape abroad, and from there he is trying to sermonize. I think that's where the outrage is coming from, because he not only ran away with the money, used Indian system and is sitting there pretty on these properties. So I think for me, as an individual, he is the face of crony capitalism.
But what about the precedent that has been set so far? Harpreet Gyani talking about Subhrata Roy, the fact that he's still languishing in jail, but the terms are still a little uncertain. Do you think that all of this is going to be used as fodder or mileage by Mr. Mallya while he is trying to prevent himself from being extradited to India?
It's like when you are a powerful country, the same laws don't apply to you.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, if this country would have been America, perhaps Mallya would have been in. America can have Guantanamo Bay, rendition sites, can pick up anyone from Gulf, but still it is the beacon of democracy and human rights and can teach 15 other people about what human rights are about. But they have nothing to say on their own backyard and the black sites which they ran in Poland, or their own subcontractor killing people in Pakistan and then, taken back.
So you're saying there is an Occident versus Orient sort of situation happening over here?
Just because India has not reached to the level of China and America, some people can surbanize from London.
Right.
The day we become that muscular, that powerful, it wouldn't take us, because the whole conversation was that we have mistreated people. Okay, it's like Yaqub Menin's case and, Abu Salim's case. But the fact of the matter is that India is a sovereign nation. It has right to decide as to what is right and what is wrong for it. America does it. There is no hue and cry when America violated the sovereignty of Pakistan and went to Abbottabad.
Right.
But those rules apply to us when we do that to defend ourselves and we do cross-border raids. Then we get lecture from America of people living in Britain or people living in the Western countries. So it's like that. I see it from that perspective.
Okay, so you're saying the rules are unfair because we're looking at it very differently, from different lenses.